Hello and welcome to this update to Background Designer. This is version 0.64. As you can see, things look 64-ish. I always like making something to do with the Commodore 64 with things I make, whether it's shaders or tools like this. Last year it was Blip Paint, got the Commodore treatment, and I still use that to edit some Commodore art. But this looks pretty cool. This is a shader that uses a LUT, a lookup table, a really high res one so that it's as precise as possible. It looks pretty good. Doesn't do any of the restrictive things, but you can use all the brushes all the same. Change the colors up so you can see here the actual colors, and then it converts automatically. It's all done through the shader. We can go ahead and make some nice Commodore looking art, so let's do something. I've got these nice palm trees, let's make a little beach, why not? Let's go with the sand, and I've got some shapes here that I suppose I could use. Let's just take away these tones and leave us just with the base. You see it looks a little bit greenish, so still, let's see, make it solid. That doesn't really work, does it? Control click, bring these in. Yeah, the only way to solidify this is to paint it a few times, but that would do the trick. Okay, the sky I guess needs to be blue. So you can see the actual colours here, and as soon as you come back into the view, it makes the Commodore color palette. Yeah, that's nice. It doesn't do the dithering effect, so I'm kind of missing that a little bit. Let's add a few mountains in. I'm just going to click a few of these tones. Actually, we can pick these very colors, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Quite like that. Maybe the tip needs to be darker, but let's go for blue again. There we go. I really like the way that looks. A little extra mountain there. Maybe it's got a reflection, so press Y to flip it vertically and put a little reflection in there. And same for that one. Can do a little bit of opacity all the same, because it's really just reading. It's reading this image and then converting it. It's just really for fun right now. The only way to capture this image is to print screen right at this point, and the ratio is a bit off. So instead of it being 320 by 200, it will be 320 by 180. So you've got a little bit of a border, top and bottom. What else could I add to this? A shadow for the tree. Let's go back to the tree. And let's just say I want all this sand to be a layer lower, so I can undo all of the strokes I made for the sand, go to the layer below and redo with Control Alt Z, which means it's going to redo in the layer that I've chose. Alright, and that's kind of just a hacky way of copy paste, but you can do it with your undo history. So it's going to be called sand. This will be called shadow. So we've got our tree here, and I'll just make it all black. Control click, press 5 or click here for 50% opacity, and you can see it's automatically giving me some shadow, and it's doing its best to give me the half tone color. All I want to do is just bring this to a point, maybe flip it that way, do that round. Maybe with the sun hitting the leaves there, the shadow's going to be this way. That looks quite cool. And there we go. I can even press 3 for a lighter shadow, 2, 1. You can see it actually does the thing you would expect. So we've got a strong sunlight, make it like totally black, but I like it just to be kind of warmish. It's pretty cool. Oh, make sure you press F2 or Tab so you can see the actual colours here. So this is actually looking a bit odd. Let's press 0. There we go. I can bring a little kind of bush here. Want to make it green tones. So you can give it whatever tones you want and just let the shader just do its thing. It'll try and, there you go, it's trying to imitate the Commodore colours as much as possible. And yeah, I could put in a little bit in front here. I've got other foliage that we can add. These are quite nice, the sort of, not banana leaves, but the other kind of jungle-like leaves that you get. And we can go ahead and change those up. Let's make them like dark green and see what it gives us. It gives us this brownish tone. You know, we can force it to be a little bit green here and there. So these brushes are all made with 4 tones driven through red, green and blue. And we can replace those tones with these, and also the base tone, which is black. I feel like I need a little ship, but I don't have any ship assets. So let's go looking for, let's go online and look for a ship. Oh, don't want you to see that. It's my dodgy accounts. Let's do ship silhouette. Okay. Yeah, pirate ship looks good. Let's save that. Save image as desktop galleon ship silhouette. Back to the tool. And it's going to go to the user category. There's a whole lot of brushes that you can make your own, bring them in, make them here, grab them with a brush, and it populates this list. But I'll go ahead and just grab that ship desktop. Oh, that's it. And ship will do it. Makes a copy locally so you can use it. And now I can basically just pick the blue colour there. Control click so they all get the same. And look at that. It's so good. How big will I make it though? It's like it's near us or it's far away. Far away. I want it so there's some clarity to it, and I like the way it would maybe cut that top layer there. So it's going to be behind the trees. My tree's already kind of in place, so it doesn't matter. I'll just use the shadow layer. So it's behind the trees. Could make it over here somewhere. X to flip it horizontally. Can rotate it with E and R. But that looks pretty cool. I just want to get it so those lines, yeah, that's better. Those lines gonna hold. And I can always, you know, Photoshop this up later or put it into Gang Ed or Blip Paint or any of these pixel editing tools. I want to bring in a bit more grass and shrubs and stuff. There's a nice shrub there. Go back to the sand layer. Let's go for some greens. Let's control click and we'll get some of that. I'm just going to press 3 or 2 for a little bit of opacity. That way it's just gradually layering up. You can see if I move over here what the actual colours are and everything, but I'm just letting it do its thing. Need a little bit of something for the ship. So let's use that shadow layer again. So now you can see the edge of the ship. I just want to plop a little bit there. Like that. Could always do a little bit after it as well. And I can take some of these tones away, which is cool. Let's bring that to opacity mode, and now I've just got some little bits that I could use. Something like that. Can change the sky color at any point in time. Obviously that doesn't work as well. Hiding the ship. A bit of green. Quite liked it like that though. The mountain seems a little bit disproportionate now, so I could always go back to that layer and add in another one. F2 to reset everything. Let's pick some colors. Yeah, and 0 for full opacity. Let's go in behind those mountains just to help. Maybe over here as well. Let's break up the silhouette of the tree a tiny bit there, like that. Tempted to make like a little checker effect, you know, I like to do those gradients. But I'd probably do that somewhere else. I can use this weather effect for, you know, some noise like that, but to be honest, it's not really doing it for me. Quite like it like that. Maybe put the sun in the sky over here to show the shadow. So we'll get a circle. I'll go for yellow. Make that kind of yellowish. Control click, and then put the sun in there. There's also some effects with this, so you could go for something more like that. You see the way it's kind of looking like a gradient sun. It's not quite as, see, it's all blending with that gradient in the background, so it's kind of just shifting and changing. Yeah, I maybe want it to be, you can really kind of see that there. It's got a little smile. I just do it like that. There's no in between tone with yellow and cyan. They're very close in terms of value in this machine. But yeah, I can plop that down there. I could always do like little waves. You can make up your own shapes and things as well. Got some fog. You know, I could use that for a kind of lens flare or glow or something, but it's not quite matching the style. Quite like that, just a little desert island in the pirate ship, like who the hell wants to get rescued there. Got some bamboo. Let's go up to a higher layer. We could put in some bamboo, change to funky colours. So these are the primary colours that it's using to do the masking, so you can swap it for new tones. So I've made a lot of these brushes this way so that the blue tones can basically, as you bring this to the right, the blue tones become whatever you want, green. The red tones become whatever you want. Black tones, let's make them black. And yeah, you see little highlights there. It can bring a little kind of bit more foliage here and there, just to frame the piece. Oh, I can also do W for wrap mode, which means it's going to tile. Means like you could have a panning background. It doesn't work with the pixel shader. As soon as I start to move it, it switches back because it needs to be captured. But you can see it down the bottom, you know, quite well how it's repeating. But the only way it works here, if you press the middle mouse button, hold it down a bit so that it zeroes out, then it can use the pixel shader then. Still working on it, so we'll see where I can go with it. I might bring in some lines, a thin line, and let's bring this round to there. I want to just help this background a bit. Let's do bars. Make a little kind of gradient effect, so I'll choose that blue, take everything else away, make it solid, and make sure this is big enough to cover an area like that. And then thin, let's put that down. I don't know if I want it there. Quite like the horizon, so I'll do it with this tone. You see, it's because it's wrap mode, it's doing that. I'm going to turn that off so I don't get confused about it. And yeah, we're behind the sun, that's cool. So I can put that there, make it a bit thinner, make that a bit thicker, and then go over here, thinner again, a bit thicker with the blue, the light blue, thinner again. Oh, never did that, never did. So the good thing is I don't have to be accurate here. Why the hell is it not plotting it down? There we go. I don't need to be accurate here, I just need to be rough. And if you looked at the original, you'll probably see like, yeah, there's janky bits, but the pixel shader fixes that. I missed a bit. I'll just go plunk, plunk, like that, and then I can make it even thinner. I've got other thin lines, but they'll get kind of chunkier there. And then pretty much to that one. I need to bring in like a horizontal tiling thing that I had in an earlier version that basically just, you know, tiled it across the way. And there's an issue where it doesn't always plot down, which has been doing my head in for a long time. No idea why yet, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, a little line up here. It would be good if I could lock to one line with shift, but shift just basically plots down loads like a drawing sort of effect, so you could do like that with one stroke, but then it's plotted them all down again and again, so you'll see I've made loads of plots there. There we go, back to normal. Let's just do this right. Here we go. That looks pretty cool. I could add some rocks actually, so let's go for some rocks. Let's bring these back to normal, so F2, tab a few times, or bring this down to the left. You'll see the grayscale effect, the RGB effect, but actually suits the sky not too bad. They're quite rough, these rocks though. There's a few smoother ones here. That's exactly it. Little rock. Some little rocks here and there. Let's make these grayscale. And make sure we do the replace color. Awesome. It's just instant. Yeah, the pixels are pretty accurate, so it would just be a case of cleaning up the excess pixels in the 4x8 blocks, which isn't too much work, I guess. That one in the foreground here. But no, I quite like, you know, less is more, right? Don't want to go over the top with it. Maybe a little stone there just to help that one. Needs a shadow. Every rock needs a shadow, so wherever, yeah, I'm here, just put it in the shadow layer. Control click so they'll get black. 5 for half of the value. And let's put a shadow in for that one and a little one for that. Cool. Guess the sun would get behind that there, so let's just do ripples and I'll choose that yellow, control click, and now I've got that to 0 so I get the full opacity. I want to use something that's a bit more dashy, like the thin line ones. Just rotate that round and do something like that. You can't really see it, but yeah, that's the sun. And then let's pick this blue just to help it. Control click, or take away, you can always take away these tones with solid mode on it, it'll work. And then control click that one. Always toggle that layer with the bamboo on it to see. We can see a bit of a mess with that layer, but yeah, just throw in some lines. Oh, I put it in the wrong layer. See, let's see if it's a better brush. A bit of fog. Done it again. Ripples. And control click that. There we go. I can press enter and it'll kind of draw everything again. It's very quick though. You see the most of the drawing was in the ripples down there. It's got a parallax mode. If I press P, you get a kind of parallax effect, which added to the blip paint thing as well. You see it's mucking everything up though. Everything's moving in weird ways. But that's that. That is it. If I go over here, you see that's the original and converts it. Oh, there's another mode. Like, I've been trying to make up this kind of hypothetical Commodore 64 version 2 that maybe come out like straight after it if we never went all console savvy. So I just press F9 and it does double resolution and increase the color palette to 32, so there's basically more colors, and you can see it looks a bit weird here because there's more pixels doing the correction, but that looks pretty cool. Still has the slightly Commodore aesthetic to it, but extra colors. But yeah, there's more charm in that. Maybe with the lines, the bars, I could grab the circle again, choose this color, control click, and then just make it bigger so the sun's got a kind of, yeah, that's nicer, little halo around it. Sweet. Well, that's it for this video. I'm going to release this version any minute now, so I hope you enjoy using it. To change the mode, it's just F8 and F9. So F8 will go cycle around to the left, and F9 cycle. Basically just there's three modes. First mode is default, next mode is the Commodore 64 emulation, and the next mode is the Commodore 64 V2 hypothetical computer. Awesome. And you basically just want to like print screen this, print screen it, throw it into Photoshop. That's the LUT table that I made, a 4K LUT, so it's massive. And yeah, then you've got your little area here, and you want to kind of crop this up so that you can scale it down. In fact, I could just scale it down anyway, but I want to make sure I'm on the pixel at least, so let's just crop away all that bit. Sorry, the computer's like super slow. Since I've got a 4K monitor, everything's, as you can imagine, probably a good fraction slower, especially Photoshop. Come on, what a drag. Look at those chunky pixels. So you see there'd be a lot to correct in here. I don't want to do it this way. Definitely don't want to do it this way. It would be good if I could just export the image. There is a way to do it. I could capture the image, but it's going to be the original colours. I don't have the shader built into the capture brush just yet. Right, I'm assuming I've got that right there. Oops, wrong one. Rid of these two. Let's crop it. Image size, hopefully I've not damaged it. That should be 128. Oh, yeah, I'm 1 pixel too much on the top or bottom. 1 pixel too much. I'll just crop it. Yeah, it's there. So the black pixel. Image size, pixels 0. No, canvas size actually. Image canvas size. Make that 0 there. Go to the top. Go to that point. Proceed. So cut a little bit off the bottom, hopefully. Yep. Now, image size, pixels. I basically want to go to 320 width. Nearest neighbor. It should be 1:1 with what I just made. Why is it done square pixels? That's weird. Image size. Let's do, unlock that. Let's do 160 by 180. Nearest neighbor. Then image size 320. Looks nothing like it, man. It looks nothing like it. Don't know why it's not converting it right. So let's go down a step. Let's do 1280 by 720. Don't lose anything there. And it means we should have, I think it's either 3 or 4 pixels for each of these. Make sure you're on the pencil, single pixel size, normal brush. 1 pixel. It's only 2 times the size. Okay, so image size, I want to half that, so that's going to be 640. Let's just make sure we're locked at 640. I've not lost anything there. The reason for that is the 4K monitor. Everything is weird. This 4K monitor throws off all my sizes. I don't know if you guys get this, but I get it. You know, I understand that it's not the same size as I'd expect. Everything seems to be double, where it would be half, something like that. But yeah, then I can sort of do some extra work with it, add some dither effects here, and oh, there's another thing I found out with Photoshop. You can actually, I'm going to copy this image, right? I'm going to copy the whole thing and go to a new document. You can actually change this to anamorphic pixels, which kind of just gives you exactly what you'd expect. So if I do that, oh, image size, I see everything's really weird in this mode as well. So that'd be 320. Paste that in there. Paste it in the right place, man. It's messed it up. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Everything's scaled and weird in 4K monitor. I might have to go back to my other monitor. I've only got this to test, but everything's such a nightmare. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and catch you in the next one. Hope you enjoy using Background Designer. It's on itch for $1. It will be going up to $5 as soon as I finish the brush set. If you want to jump over to itch, you could either go to info. In fact, you wouldn't have this to go to info. What am I talking about? But it's a cool tool for making backgrounds really quick, as you can see. And it's on itch. It's literally $1. And yeah, loads of brushes with it. Does nice stuff, sci-fi stuff, realistic-y stuff, just whatever you want, isometric. I've got loads of videos on it, whole playlist, Trello, roadmap. Be good to get your support, because I'm poor and I want to work more on this. I'll update to 0.64 in a minute. See you later. Bye.